Big banks are groveling to Donald Trump, praying they won't be his next target. So writes the Wall Street Journal, writing, big banks are trying to, quote, get out of the crosshairs of what Trump is doing with universities and big law firms, both previously politically untouchable. So with woke universities, Trump is threatening to take billions of federal money and give it to trade schools, or even revoke their tax-exempt status because of racism. Meanwhile, he's punishing woke law firms, including security clearances and potential investigations for political lawfare and discriminatory hiring. There's now rumors Trump is sizing up woke banks, which is pretty much all the major banks, starting with the executive order on debanking, where banks literally cancel the bank accounts of conservatives using so-called reputation risk as cover. As in, if Wells Fargo processes Alex Jones' payroll, I guess everybody will conclude Fargo is not a real bank. Indeed, since Obama's Operation Choke Point, banks have boycotted entire right-leaning industries, including coin dealers, firearms, fossil fuels, and conservative media, including the Trump Organization itself. Now, this matters because if you can't get a merchant account, your coin dealer or gun store goes bankrupt, and your YouTube channel is donezo. So it's a backdoor way to cancel your First and Second Amendment rights. Meanwhile, if you can't finance an oil well, but the sky's the limit for windmills, banks effectively embezzle American savings using their government-granted oligopoly to steer the nation's capital to the left's darlings. From green energy to woke media like Axios or BuzzFeed, who can always get loans, to the commanding heights of speech, social media, and AI. So far, the political pushback has come from states' attorneys general, with 16 states, including Texas and Florida, threatening to bar discriminatory banks from state business. A state business is something like $1.5 trillion, so it got their attention. In fact, Florida law literally threatens dissolution if banks discriminate on religious or political grounds. But Trump would be the big kahuna since the federal government represents tens of trillions in business, as in being barred from federal dealings effectively is dissolution. Now, the banks are trying to get ahead of Trump both publicly and privately. Citi and J.P. Morgan have issued policy guidance against political discrimination, while both recently left a climate change banking alliance. Goldman and Morgan Stanley are promising to drop their ban on the coal industry Bank of America already has. Of course, this is all small potatoes, but according to the Journal, banks are, quote, stepping up meetings with Republicans, both at state and federal level, to work out common ground, which hopefully comes to more than a fat campaign donation. So what's next? Brought to you by I Trust Capital. Bank discrimination against conservatives, like all discrimination against conservatives by corporate America, is driven by a toxic stew of catering to left-wing regulators, left-wing rioters, and the left's capture of academia that both indoctrinates bankers and holds their social status hostage to parroting and enforcing woke dogma. As for fixing it, we've already got laws on the book against religious and racial discrimination that corporate America, including banks, have been ignoring for years. Even ideological discrimination is implied by creed in the foundational 1964 Civil Rights Act. The trick is enforcing the laws. Hopefully Republicans are serious this time. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.